Sustainable use of nature adds value to the biodiversity, and it would be the other way around if we don't. We are hunters. We care about nature, we care about wildlife, we care about rural communities. That's our heart. Hunters render a service to nature and to society. And that's what we will try to show over the next 2 days.
Now, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Communications, Knowledge and Technology, Mr. Pontsho Pusoitsile, says the Africa-Japan Collaborative Research Program has great potential in helping researchers come up with innovative solutions to some of the world's challenges. Now, he was speaking at the just-ended Africa-Japan Collaborative Workshop in Maung. Maranyane Samakata reports.
African countries are battling different economic, environmental and social challenges. Research, therefore, has been cited as key in finding lasting and innovative solutions to some of these challenges. The Africa-Japan Collaborative Research Program thus provides a platform for African countries to come up with evidence-based policies that can contribute to economic and social development.
By pooling their expertise, Japan and Africa can tackle common global challenges such as climate change, public health issues, food security, more effectively, hence addressing global challenges. These joint research projects are expected to spark innovation and creativity by together bringing different perspectives, approaches, methodologies from Japan and Africa.
This initiative, colleagues, is about strengthening the granting councils in these countries to actually fund research and innovation in their countries and in collaboration with each other.
We face the various kinds of global challenges: the climate change, food scarcity, the energy security, the water management, and more. These issues are too immense and complicated for any single country, the region, the sector, or discipline to address alone. So this is why we gathered and started AJ Core, aiming at fostering collaboration between African sub-Saharan countries and Japan to collectively tackle these pressing global challenges.
Launched in 2015, the Africa-Japan Collaborative Program is a partnership between the National Research Foundation of South Africa and the Japan Science and Technology Agency, with the aim to support joint research and innovation science projects between researchers. About 17 African countries, including Botswana, are now part of the program. Maranyane Samakata, BTV News, Maung.
Bakan Serets's house in Gaborone Extension 11 has been purchased at a tune of 7,650,000 pula through a public auction yesterday. The auctioning of the house comes after the Court of Appeal ruled that it was purchased from the proceeds of the 230 million pula believed to have been stolen from the National Petroleum Fund. Now, as we move on with our stories, Uganda has expressed the eagerness for more of Botswana Vaccine Institute-produced animal vaccines to safeguard its beef industry. Now, with a population of over 14.5 million cattle, 17 million goats and 5 million sheep, Uganda's Minister of State for Animal Industry, Mr. Bright Rwamirana, said the Eastern African nation was ready to welcome more vaccines from Botswana. Khorata Moranyane with more.
In their meeting in January this year, Presidents Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi and General Yoweri Museveni agreed on strengthening bilateral collaborations in agriculture, particularly cattle breeding and feed production. The two countries are therefore making headway in this regard, with Uganda looking to benefit from Botswana's achievements in the control of foot and mouth disease. The Botswana Vaccine Institute is part of Botswana's success story in FMD control, making it a perfect stop for the Ugandan delegation.
As a developing country, we trade in animal and animal products, and we have prevalence of diseases that need to be treated. As a government, we invest more in preventive methods than curative. So we are looking at vaccination, a range of diseases ranging from FMD, PPR, CBPP, rabies, and anthrax. So we are here and, to see how we can cooperate, how much they can supply us, and in what time or period. Into the directive of the two heads of state at bilateral level. So they met in Kampala and they directed us to work together in 3 areas. First one is disease control, where we have to procure vaccine from here. The second one is animal nutrition, where we have to partner with the Botswana to do feeds in Uganda and bring them here to support the beef industry. We also have dairy, and we are looking at how we can bring our dairy products here. And the other area is research and development, so that we share information. That's why I have brought my team with all these brains, researchers, academia, animal scientists, and engineers.
This facility exports vaccines to more than 15 countries, and it's looking to expand its horizons.
Mo Botswana Vaccine Institute go rata go itemogela gore ga re dira yone melemo e leng gore ke ya tlhakole molomo tota re dira ka tsela e ntseng jang mme le gone ga dithuso tse gore ka di hale ha tshele e ka nna dithuso tse leng gore di ntseang baitso ke ka tlhalosa gore ke loeto le leng gore la tegile hela thata re tsere dikgang ka e leng gore re ka gona go thusana ka teng mme go lebega gona le tswello pele e leng gore re ta gona gore re thuse le ha tsela Uganda go laola
As part of their endeavor to appreciate Botswana's beef production industry, the Ugandan delegation will also visit the Ramatlabama artificial insemination farm. Khorata Moranyane, BTV News, Gaborone.
Meanwhile, the Department of Wildlife and National Parks has registered 76 human-wildlife conflict incidents in the Kalahari South area, which has affected a number of households. This was revealed by Ms. Masego Pitso, who is the Principal Development Officer, when updating Zabon District Council on the current household food security and vulnerability situation in the district. Has more.
Ms. Pitso says government has spent over 100,000 pula in compensation to farmers who lost their livestock to human-wildlife conflict in 2023-2024 financial year. She says majority of the livestock was killed by lions that had escaped from Kalahari Transfrontier Park.
There were 76 incidents of human-wildlife conflict for this year. For this month already, conflict is below honali di tauze di setseng di le 10 tse leng gore batho ba leka go iphemela mo go tsone le gone gore di a ba senyetsa tse ba setseng ba di bolaile mo lasting.
Challenge re na le one ka terrain ya Kalahari ka gore go mothaba la re ntse re dirile fence kganelang diphologolo di taudi a yepa go tsa ga fence be di khona go tswela go nte.
Lions are able to dig through the wire and escape at night. It's easy for them to kill livestock because they graze at night. Farmers are advised not to take matters into their own hands by hunting down lions. Farmers should inform the Department of Wildlife of any attacks by wildlife so we can act immediately. At the moment, there is no provision for compensation for livestock killed by wild dogs. However, the Department of Wildlife and National Parks has reviewed guidelines to include compensation for the aforementioned animals and are waiting for approval by Parliament. BTV News. Tsabong.
We're broadcasting live from Gaborone, the capital. Thank you for staying with us. Now, as we continue with our stories, Botswana Energy Regulatory Authority has adjusted the retail pump prices for petrol grades and diesel. Retail pump price of unleaded petrol 93 increases by 113 thebe per litre. Retail pump price of unleaded petrol 95 by 105 thebe per litre. And retail pump price of diesel 50 ppm increases by 16 thebe per litre. Furthermore, the retail pump price of aviation gasoline has increased as follows: 393 thebe per litre for Gaborone, 392 thebe per litre for Maung, 409 thebe per litre for Kasane, and 397 thebe per litre for Francistown. And the changes effect today. Now, the International Council for Game and Wildlife Conservation CIC 70th General Assembly today kick-started with official opening in Cascais, Portugal. The Minister of Environment and Tourism, Mr. Dumizweni Mthimkhulu, is expected to address the assembly during a panel discussion, therein also announcing Botswana's intention to rejoin the assembly. Now, during the assembly, during a panel discussion. Now, our reporter, Utsidile Onkabetse, is on standby to give us the latest updates. Good afternoon, Utsidile.
Thank you very much. As you rightly said, the 70th edition of the CIC conference kick-started this morning, basically themed biodiversity. And of course, the conversation really on the ground is, various speakers spoke to the value of hunting as one of the greatest tools to fast-tracking sustainability, which of course is at the core of the mandate of the CIC. And of course, Dr. Philip Harmer, who is the CIC president, took to the stage a lot of, insightful pointers with regards to what hunting should be looked at as. He mentioned the fact that the narrative really should be that hunters care, they render a service to nature and society, his words exactly, and of course pointing to the fact that sustainability of nature should be leveraged to bring about some form of sustainable biodiversity. And of course, a lot of speakers also defined, rather referred to hunting as an uncut diamond. And of course, regulated hunting, which of course a lot of countries affiliated with the CIC really do subscribe to the notion of hunting being one of the greatest tools to sustainability and conservative ways of bringing about desired levels of biodiversity. I also did, we also heard a speech from the director of biodiversity, who is Humberto Delgado, who spoke at length about, bridging biodiversity, which is really at the core of the theme of the 70th conference here. He mentioned a lot of different aspects that that need to be instigated, including the collective responsibility on the part of all member states. And these are experts, these are NGOs, these are experts in different fields when it comes to conservation, when it comes to wildlife. So he mentioned that collective approaches on the part of all member states, on the part of all experts and communities, they should really come together to bring about the integrity of what biodiversity really stands for. And of course, you'd recall the topical issue on the international space, and even back home in Botswana, is really the trophy hunting bill. So in conversations with different professionals and experts, we spoke to various researchers just on the sidelines of this conference. They spoke to the value of Botswana's conservation story and just how big it is, and of course what it means for Botswana to sustainably manage her wildlife populations. And she's been doing that with integrity and leveraging on different policy framework that she has established. And of course they noted that as a point of reference to say Botswana's story is a remarkable one to write home about. And of course Western communities really need to understand what this really means, that Botswana and other African countries can take care of their wildlife and should not have to be dictated to, if you may, how to manage the wildlife populations by Westerners, who of course hold various schools of thought as to how wildlife populations should be managed. One of the speakers also talked to the issue of social acceptance that's not even, evenly spread out. So there has to be in-depth knowledge that needs to, get out into different spaces, and information and research are critical to driving that point home.
So much, Sidi, for that detailed report. Our thoughts are with you and the whole delegation that's that side. Thank you so much. Now, as we continue with our stories, President Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi officially opened the annual Botswana Democratic Party Golf Day this morning, which is intended at raising funds for the party as well as for the party leadership to interact with members of the community. Kikanze Kumalo has more.
The 2024 election cycle has kicked off, and the race is heating up as political parties are gearing up for the national elections, which are just 6 months away. Parties have started recruitment drives to lure new members, and today the BDP held the Golf Day, which has attracted more than 100 golf players, as an opportunity to take the party to the people and to interact with the business community.
Domkuraga ke party ya batho ya Botswana re kaelela go interact le all corners, all sectors of society, either fundraiser or just interacting for ba re itse re organization e busa re eletsa gore ba ithaloganye ba te ha ba top ba itse ba top party ntsinja e eteletsweng ke bo mampele. So the reason why the president and the vice president are here, it's again a show of support, supporting sports, supporting activists who have organized this event, and also interacting with the business community as well as Batamiki golf.
The party also aims to raise funds with the golf game for the upcoming campaign drives.
October 2024, so we need to organize ourselves. It's also a recruitment drive, by the way. By them participating, the interaction that we have with them, some of them may choose to be members of the BDP. Party ya runa ya Domkuraga e tsweletse ka go ipakanyetsa dithopo re simolla ka bulela ditswe manane kana ditsamaiso tsa runa. They are getting very close to now calling a date ya primary election, vetting process ile one re dirile just to plead with Botswana, especially Madam Kuraga, to be patient because our process are taking its usual course and
the public is waiting with bated breath to know their representative for the upcoming elections. However, BDP Secretary General Mr. Kavis Kariom urged them to be patient as primary elections are on the way soon. Kikanze Kumalo, BTV News, Gaborone.
And with that last story, we now move on to the sports news with Jose Ronkwe, who's on standby.
Let me thank you, Khomutsego, and greetings to you all. As he has already mentioned, I'm Khosronke, bringing to you in context the sports news. And with that, let's get straight into it. The Botswana National Sports Commission has officially announced the names of the nominees for the 43rd edition of the Botswana Sports Awards, scheduled for the 18th of May at Royal Ria in Tlukweng. Abampete and Tlabelo Mutsusi reports.
Adjudication chairperson for the awards, Shamin Govea, says all the affiliates were given a chance to submit the names of athletes to represent them in all categories based on their performance from the previous year.
The process entails that we, as the panel, appraise candidates in accordance to the BNSC sports performance system. The quantitative elements include competition at various levels. These levels include the national performance competitions, regional, continental, Commonwealth, World, and/or Olympics. When we look at the qualitative elements, we look at areas of improvement, contribution or impact, and lastly, discipline.
The National Sports Awards recognize sport talent across different sport codes for over the past year. And as mentioned before, these are purely based on performance and votes from the public.
The Sportsmen of the Year nominees are Ross Branch of Motorsport, Litsile Tebogo of Athletics, and Karabo Motlanka of Cricket, while the Sportswomen of the Year award will be contested by Mamelodi Sundowns and Mes Wing Forward, Refilo Tolakele, Lesego Masimula of Karate, and Oratile Noe of Athletics. The Junior Sportsman of the Year award will see Colin Kibinatsipi of Athletics compete against tennis sensation Denzel Setso and Kaon Sala of Karate, while the Junior Sportswoman of the Year nominees are Neo Norampe of Judo, Chess International Master Natalie Banda, and Situnya Majama of Athletics. The nominees for the sports with disabilities are Edwin Masuche of Pasobo and Tuso Masala of Special Olympic, while coach of the year nominees are athletics coach Geboni Mudisa Dosa, Musimanyane, Keleto Tukudi of Special Olympic, and Hasero Napabalo of bowling. Team of the year nominees are Karate Men's Team Kata, Men's Under 20 4x4 Relay Team, and the Lons Bows Women's Bowling Team. Finally, the Best National Sports Association nominees are Botswana Tennis Association, Botswana Athletics Association, Botswana Table Tennis Association. Abampete, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
The National First Division South League lock leaders joining youngsters will lock horns with Extension Gunners in a Week 18 fixture to be played tomorrow at 6 p.m. at Joining Galaxy Stadium. Michelle Sokopo has more details of the game.
Joining youngsters are top of the log with 37 points, having raced at 12 wins, 1 draw, and suffering 4 losses. Dinaletsana are aiming to continue their dominant run as they have managed to win all of their last 4 fixtures. Youngsters hammered Tlokong United 3-1, beat Desengqa by a goal to nil, before beating Notwane 2-0 and walloping Black Forest 5-0 in their last fixture.
We played Notwane in the first round, Extension Gunners in the first round, and we drew 1-1. Yes, we gave them a sloppy free kick in the last 9 minutes of the game and resulted into a goal. Yes, we learned from that and we moved on, but I believe this time around it's not going to be like that, because my boys are ready now, they are prepared, they are responding very well from the break up to until now. I believe tomorrow we are going to get maximum points and we are going to fight hard to get it. It's not going to be easy, it's going to be very difficult, but I know at the end of the day we have to be victorious.
Extension Gunners, on the other hand, are seated 8th with 18 points, having raced at 5 wins, 4 draws, and 8 losses. Mapantsola are aiming to improve their record, having raced at 3 losses in a row at the hands of City Pola, Tlokong United, and Notwane, who defeated them 3-0. All eyes will be on the newly appointed head coach Stanley Mwanga following the resignation of former coach Daniel Nare to shift things around.
Yes, joining youngsters, it is the team on top, but then at the end of the day, tactically, we are planning 1 or 2 things which might help us to get the positive result. Definitely, we are going to put up, because I know the team is in a very bad situation.
The last time the two sides met was at the first round when they played to a 1-1 draw. Michelle Sekopo, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Joining Galaxy coach Mrena Ramuleburi says it's an honor for him to be one of the best coach of the year nominees for the inaugural COSAFA Awards billed for next month. Ryan Khamonyane has more.
Currently, Ramorebudi's team, Joining Galaxy, is at the summit of the Botswana Premier League log standings with 53 points and are fighting tooth and nail to defend the league title they won in the 2022-2023 season. The 43-year-old also finished third with his country's senior national team, Bafana Bafana, at the 2023 COSAFA Cup.
But I think credit needs to go to these guys. Credit needs to go to South African Football Association. Credit needs to go to Botswana Football Association for granting me the opportunity to be in this country. I think as a coach, you are made or you are seen because of your players. So I think they have always been trying their best to make me a better coach. As much as I've tried to make them better players, but I think they have played more role in making me a better coach than what I have done to them, because they are a group full of talent. So to be honest, I'm very happy. And look, for me, I'll be honest with you, I was not expecting it. Looking at the number of top coaches in the SADC region, but being nominated, it means a lot to me, and I'm very happy, and I thank God for another opportunity. Sometimes we take things light and forget that there is grace, that it's moving with us, and we need to thank God for everything that is happening in our lives. So honestly speaking, I'm very happy. I'm hoping that I will come back home with the trophy.
The South African-born coach Ramorebudi will battle it out for the Coach of the Year award with Rulani Mokoena of Mamelodi Sundowns, as well as the Namibian senior national team coach Colin Benjamin. Women's Coach of the Year award nominees are Banyana coach Desiree Ellis, Zambian women national team coach Bruce Moape, and Jerry Chabalala of Mamelodi Sundowns ladies. Men's Player of the Year battle will be between Lamek Banda of Lecce and Zambia, Peter Shalulile of Mamelodi Sundowns and Namibia, as well as Pesitau of Al Ali and South Africa. Women's Player of the Year award nominees are Barbara Banda of Shanghai Shengli and Zambia, Rachel Kudananji of Madrid FC and Zambia, as well as Tabitha Chawinga of Inter Milan and Malawi. The inaugural COSAFA Awards Gala dinner will be held in Johannesburg, South Africa on the 9th of next month, and is a celebration of Southern Africa's finest players, coaches and referees, as well as those who have been remarkable servants to the game in the region over the last few decades. Ryan Khamonyane, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
And now wrapping up the In Context Sports news with badminton. This year's UB Open Badminton Championships tournament is expected to feature 3 new categories, namely juniors, elite and masters. The inclusion of this category is to attract players in various clubs in large numbers. The tournament, which will be on its 3rd year running, will kick off tomorrow and finish on Sunday.
Now the UB Open, it's growing. Each and every year it's growing. From the first edition, we had only 2 categories, as I've mentioned. But now we have 3 categories, and also we are to have a Masters category for the first time in its kind. And we think, looking at the numbers of people who have registered, that we think it will be the biggest ever UB Open we've ever going to host. Right now, we are focused on the registrations. We are focused on registering the people, and so far the registration, the deadline is tomorrow at noon. And so far many people have registered, and from here we are going to set up the courts at the arena, and tomorrow the players can come and have a feel of the arena, and they can know, okay, UB Open, we want to have that UB Open as a household tournament that every player knows that each and every year it's a must. I have to participate in this tournament. We need to grow the prize money and everything.
We are trying to get it to the athletes, get it out there so that they can participate. We extend our invitation to our neighboring countries such as South Africa, Zambia and Zimbabwe, who we have in the past participated in that tournaments, and they do all obviously come here for the Botswana International. So we expect them to come for this one as well. There may be an issue of, something that they need to, that can entice them more. in the future, therefore, I think we could have more athletes from outside coming in. For now, as the brand grows, as we get it out there, as they can see that there's something called UB Open, and they can see the magnitude of it, hopefully they will, join us in the future.
And that is all that we had for you from In Context, the Sports Desk. And let's meet later on at 5 p.m. for Sports News installment in Setswana. And Topo Taposa was interpreting in sign language. And of course, Khomotsago Tukile is on standby to continue with In Context here on BTV News Channel. #Ikanyarola.
During the 37th Ordinary Session of the Assembly of the Heads of State and Government of the African Union Assembly, Botswana managed to secure a seat in the